Howdy, howdy, buckaroos. This is Eric here again with the Blackhoof Saloon Wild West Exodus podcast, and I'm here to do another unboxing. Just beginning of the month, we had Gen Con 2019, and I was able to go down there and check out the War Cradle Studios booth and see what was new, what was hot, what was cool, and of course, I couldn't leave without getting something new. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do an unboxing and take a look at Warrior Nation, one of the new Warrior Nation support models they have for their faction. And this is the Fire Eagle slash Thunderbird. So this is actually a two-part model that you can either build as this big nasty beastie, or they have the other bird, which is a little bit different abilities in it, and we'll bust her open and take a look at it here in a second. So let's get to the table and take a look at what's inside the box. Okay guys, here we go. You excited for this one right here? I am. So let's go ahead and pick her up, take a look at the Fire Eagle slash Great Thunderbird for the Warrior Nation. Now, here's the box. Getting a little bit of glare from my lights, but so this is a reworking of an older model that was a heavy for the Warrior Nation. And as you can see on the back of the box, here's a little normal sized dude. And then here's the big birds of prey. So yeah, this is what's neat. What they changed is you can either build the Firebird or the Great Thunderbird, and they basically give you all the parts you want. You can change from the flame of the Firebird to it's like an electric, like laser type thing coming from the Thunderbird, and the wings are interchangeable, so you can have them like he's floating down, or if you actually take the same wings and flip them around, you can make it like he's getting ready to take off in flight. So, but I already went ahead, cut the plastic, so let's dive into this sucker. I know I'm anxious to see what these wings look like and the level of detail that War Cradle lately has been known for. So once again, their basic sleeve box like they have with all the posses, and the look of the wood grain on the box. Okay, so inside the box we find another one of their little advertisements for the game with a new image. So a lot of the newer sets are coming with this one from the Golden Army, with also on the back you got the little welcome to Wild West Exodus with a brief overview of the game. We have their website where you can go and get the latest rules, which is 1.09. Free downloads of that, and unit cards, and all the things you need to play the game. And also, they have the assembly guides on the website for bigger models like this. If you kind of want to see what the options are, or like some of the units have a lot of parts that it'll help you figure those ones out. So. But here we go. Here's all the pieces in here. So we'll go ahead and let me set this down, and we'll dive into it and take a closer look into the parts. All right, here we go, zoomed. Let me move some stuff around out of the way. So, I don't know what to grab. So this model, let's go ahead and grab this because I can see it in the box. The Fire Eagle or the Thunderbird, whichever one that you decide to build. Oh, can't get it out of there. Okay, there we go. Comes with this base. So this is the extra large base that you put the big bird on. So that's a big chunk right there of space on the board that you're going to be playing. But if you can imagine this thing moving through the board, it's going to move fast. All right, so I'm just going to grab the first one here. I'm going to dive into it. I'm so excited to see what the detail of these feathers look like. because I remember the old model, and it was a big model, and it was neat. And they're slowly starting to do this with all the old heavies. So, okay, so what we have here is the body of the bird. And here's its back. It's got the spikes on it. Very similar from what the original model had. But oh my god, look at all the feather details. This is like a dry brush delight. So let me get close so you can see. I mean, the feathers on the body, and this is its tail feathers. I can just imagine somebody taking a super thin, crazy brush and just going line after line after line to give you all the different shades of colors you can put in there. And it looks like where the head mounts, there's a collar, which probably helps the transition for whether you put the eagle's head on there or the Thunderbird's head on there. So that's the body. And then, you know what? Let's grab this one because I can see what it is. This is going to be the wings. So they come in bubble wrap to protect them, and then they put them in a bag too. Move that out of the way. Alright, so, like I was saying, you can mount the wing like this if you mount it on the right side of the body, or if you flip it and put it on the other side of the body, you can make it like this. Let me hold up the other wing so you kind of get an idea. Like that. So it's like it's flying up. Or like I said, this way. Like swooping down from above. Death from above. Caw-caw! Couldn't resist. But let's take a closer look at the wing. Look at the detail on this sucker. That is just crazy. I mean, you can even see the spine right there of the individual feather. Look at that. I mean, if anybody is a real OCD painter, they could spend a lot of hours painting these. I mean, even just right here, if you can see it, this little feather there, that's just a little detail of it sticking up, you know, like it's ruffled a little bit. That's crazy. So that's one wing. And the other one's pretty much the same. Like I said, it's just mounted a little bit different. I mean, it's got a little bit of cleaning you have to do here. And actually what I'm thinking about doing when building is putting a magnet in there, not only so I can switch the wings depending on what I want to build, but actually for transportation, because this thing, once it's together, is going to be huge. And I know there's been some talk on the Dark Council of people saying, how are we going to transport this? And you know, there's an option right there. You take the wings off with magnets, and or something we talked about on our most recent podcast was getting just a tub and magnetizing the bottom of the tub with a piece of metal and putting a magnet on the bottom of the base. So, alright, so this is one of the parts of the base. So, not 100% sure which one this is, but I don't know if you can see the detail, but that's a leg right here. I'm thinking it's like a hex beast that's getting melted. I mean, it looks bulbous like a hex beast. Yeah, because there's an arm right there. Wow. Wowie, wowie, wow. The detail on this is crazy. So I guess you just put something like that on the base. Okay, what else we got in here? We got... Alright, so this is... What? Oh, okay, this is the legs. So these are like the hips right here, which they got little ankle bracelets on. And then you'd mount that to the claws, which the claws are... Oh, wow. So the claws here, if it'll zoom in on, that's an arm that the claws are grabbing. Yeah, that's a hex beast on the base. And it's like the bird's swooping down and he's grabbing a hex beast's arm and then he's frying them at the same time. Wow. That's pretty cool. So those are the legs. And then we got one more bag in here, guys. Alright, so we have... Alright, here's a other part of the base. So this one is for the fire eagle. So this is going to be the fire breath. Him shooting fire out of his mouth. With all the swirling and stuff. It's pretty cool. Oh, I want to save that one for last to show you guys. Okay, here's the other weapon. This is for the Thunderbird. So, this would be his little lightning energy blast coming out of the mouth. And that looks like part of a head right here in the back. Let's see if I turn around, if we can see any better. Yeah, that looks like a hex beast face, just being melted off. And then last but not least, the heads. So here's the Thunderbird right there. Kind of looks like a big buzzard or a... People have said pelican, but you know what? It's still pretty cool looking. It's how you guys paint it is what's gonna kind of make it what it comes off of. Come off like. Yeah, look at the detail on the top of its head. You can see like the little... I don't know if you want to call it... Not scales, but the... Like the folds in the skin. And then, of course, down at the bottom here, we got the eagle. Man, that eagle looks great. Right down to the tongue inside his beak. You guys see the tongue's very good on the video, but it's there. Yeah, these are both pretty cool depending on which one you wanna pick. I have a feeling another one of these may be getting picked up, so I can have one of each. Alright guys, that is all the pieces of the Fire Eagle and the Thunderbird. What I'm going to do with all this is I'm going to go ahead and assemble it, and we'll check back when it's all together and you can see the completed model. So stay tuned. Alright guys, here he is, or it is, the Fire Eagle. This one's a big one, so I had to really adjust the camera to get it all in there. But so this is the two-part model. Here we have the, like I said, the Fire Eagle support model for the Warrior Nation. We'll give you a little spin around. I had to actually keep this zoomed out so you can get that wingspan in. And if you look close, so this big bird's got the fire going. And if you can tell at the base, that is actually a hex beast. that the bird is grabbing. Get a little bit of light down there so you can see his claws are grabbing the arm. But look at all the detail on the feathers. I've seen a couple paint jobs already up online. Not sure how I'm going to paint this yet. I don't know if I'm going to break into the airbrush and then maybe dry brush all the details. Oh, there we go. It focuses on the base so you can see it's holding on to the arm. I'm almost afraid to move this because it's so big and heavy. But yeah, the detail in this is just kind of crazy. Let me see if I can tilt it without dropping it so you can see the detail. Now let's do a zoom in so you can see it. Okay, so there's a zoom in. You can see a little bit of the sticky tack I put underneath the one wing. Because these wings, you can actually flip them around. And I'll actually, you know, put the other option head and a little breath weapon on here real quick for you. I tried magnetizing them, but I think I might have to pull those out and redo them. The magnets I used were just a little bit small, so I'm going to have to use a bigger one that's a little bit stronger to hold this sucker. Alright, there's a quick spin around. But let me go ahead and pause this and I'll swap out the heads and the wings so you can see the Great Thunderbird. And here is the Great Thunderbird. So I swapped out the head and I actually flipped around the wings so you can see the difference of them facing up like he's getting ready to take off with one big great flap of those huge wings. And this breath weapon is a different breath weapon. So this is the lightning bolts that the Great Thunderbird is shooting out of its mouth on the same old Hex Beast. Really neat model that you can switch the wings around like this. I'll get a zoom in here a little bit of the base so you can see the difference. Well, here's the head first, a close-up. Now let's go. Okay, so you can see the base. That is a Hex Beast face right there, being melted off by lightning. Kind of moved on me. I don't have it lined up quite right, but you get the gist of it. Oh, yeah, look at the detail. There's a leg. When I did the base, I kind of tried to add some rocks onto the resin and into the green stuff I used to kind of help with the transition. So that is the Great Thunderbird. Let's take a quick look at the card. So let's start with the Fire Eagle. I'll give you you guys a quick view. So here is the Fire Eagle's stats. So as I said, support for the Warrior Nation, and it has flight. This is the big sucker on the extra large base. It has the Razor Claws with lethal on the crit, and a Fire Torrent. So it's a torrent weapon, which is nice because it'll get through metal and You can use it if anybody's stuck in the buildings. Lethal again on a crit. And what's neat about the weapon is you can use forceful strike. So you can pay 1 action point to double the piercing value of a single strike action. So its strike action is the claws at a piercing 2. You can bump it up to a 4. With a rate of attack of 4 dice being thrown, you're going to hit something. Death from above. So this sucker, as it's flying around, it can end its movement inside melee combat, and for 1 action point, actually do a combat action. Has metal, agile, moving target, so anybody that targets the Great Fire Eagle will have to re-roll. And it has flight or fight reaction, which is a new model, or a new rule with the 1.09 rules. And this is actually something that the Thunderbird has also. So let's flip this around and I'll show you the Thunderbird. So this one's 140. So if you want something a little bit cheaper with this guy right here, the Great Thunderbird is 5 points cheaper, 135. This one has razor claws also. Rate of attack's a little bit less. This one's lightning bolts. Hazard is stun, brutal, so you get an extra hit when you hit, and special. This one has fatal on the hazard though. Fatal on the crit, sorry. This one, the Great Thunderbird, has metal, agile, and shrouded. So it's actually shrouded instead of moving target like the last one. It has Stormbringer. Once per activation, this big old bird may spend an action point and immediately place a hazard disorder on a unit within 8 inches. So just being around the Great Thunderbird is going to cause you some pain. Has Galvanic, which is a little different than the Firebird. So stun and disorders do not cause the penalties to it, but still counts as having that condition. Hardy can re-roll failed grit checks, which the Firebird also had. And there's the flight or fight reaction. So if somebody targets you with a charge, you can spend a point of fortune to immediately be placed D5 from the current position. So you can take off before they actually get to you to do that melee, that free melee combat. So there you have it, guys. That's the Great Thunderbird. And the Fire Eagle. It's a really cool model. If you guys want a big nasty beastie for your warrior nation, this is going to be a fun model to put together and paint. I love it that it has the options of building the 2 different birds depending what you want. So I can totally see getting multiple ones of these for your posses. So I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing with a little sneak peek of this big bird. This is Eric saying to take it easy. And remember, when you're dropping from the sky with death from above with one of these 2 big birds, to always ride with the sun at your back, and always roll those big crits. We'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.